guys, how are you? Here we are in sunny Miami. I wanted to shoot this inside of the apartment, but unfortunately there's construction on the floor above me, so it is so loud. So I wanted to do it in the balcony, so you might be listening to some airplanes, some natural sounds, but I think that's part of the charm. And this is more casual, and this is more conversations, start new conversations between all of us. So I think it works. So today I'm going to talk about my experience at this beautiful place that I went to. I was introduced to through another friend of mine that actually lives here in the building, and her it's not a studio. It's a area. It's hard to describe, but it is called Mind Soul Experience, and you can follow her on Instagram. I did a whole video on it. Unfortunately, the filming was in Spanish because before I wasn't sure if I was going to do just Spanish, English, Spanish, or translate. That became very difficult. So I want to talk about it because it was a very beautiful experience, and maybe I'll get pieces of the different things that I learned from her and maybe do it like this, because it's a shame, because it was actually a very cool experience. For you guys that know me, you know that I love everything spirituality. Anything that has to do with spiritual growth, I'm in, whether it is sound healing, Reiki, breath work, cold plunge. I mean, literally right now I'm open to the universe. Even if it's like a mushroom experience, I am open to it. You know, it's part of the universe. I just kind of want to try everything, and you know, not everything is good for everyone, but this is why I'm talking about it, because there might be something that connects with you and that you want to try, or something that will say, definitely that's not what I want to try, and it's not what I thought, so I'm glad that Maria told me, so I won't try it. So this is just my truth. I'm not trying to tell anybody what they should do, what they should believe. I'm just starting conversations, and I'm just talking about what I find interesting along the way. So going to experience the Mind Soul experience was super cool. Her motto is that we should all try different techniques on how to ground us, how to help us grow spiritually, sorry, my English, how to grow as a person, how to handle stress, how to receive more ideas and become more creative, which is what I love. But you know, there's so many different techniques, and you don't know which technique is going to click with you. So by trying different things, you might enjoy doing all of them and practicing all of them. Of course, probably not in all one day. We don't have that much time, but it's up to you to decide. Is there one that you really want to stick with? Do you want to try them all? But you don't know until you know what's available for you. So that's what she likes to do, and that's what I found very interesting. We started out with this little machine that I don't remember the name of it, but that measures your chakras. It's very cool. Luckily, I was pretty balanced, so that was good news. But this way she knows what to work on. She has these beautiful gongs in her space, in her backyard. It's all in nature. She plays this music, the gongs so beautifully. We'll get into all these things, but we did the gongs, we did breath work, which a lot of people really don't know what breath work. They think it's just breathing in and breathing out. It is very relaxing, meditative state that you get into. It's not. It's nothing like that. It is more intense. It is strong breathing. It's waking up like every cell in your body, your soul, and it takes you to a place that you almost feel like you're levitating. You might even experience some visions. It is intense. And I do want to talk a little bit more about that on another episode. But we did that. We did the cold plunge. She incorporates her gongs to the sound healing with with the cold plunge experience, which is super cool. You totally feel it. I get the benefit from that. But before that, she had me do these exercises and started talking to me about breathing, the different techniques of breathing. She was explaining to me that we all are supposed to be breathing out of our nose. A lot of us breathe out of our mouth. I get it, you know, allergies. Some of it is just we're used to it. We need to, but so she wants us to know that we need to train ourselves to breathe through our nose. Okay, that's awesome. So she had me do this exercise that was definitely a lot harder than I expected. And I wasn't able to really pay attention to everything that she was explaining to me, not only because it wasn't in Spanish, but because I was basically fighting for my life because I didn't have 1 ounce of air in my body. What she had me do is she made me breathe in and then breathe all the air out. And after I released all my breath, I had to hold my nose with my mouth closed, and she had me holding my nose, not breathing, had me run up and down this space until I had to stop and take a breath. And the whole which was very hard, and that's why, I mean, I was like fighting for my life. I couldn't listen to everything that she was saying. But what the hard part of this whole thing, like the whole point that she was trying to make, is after I stop, you can't go, you can't use your mouth, which is exactly what you want to do. She wants you to neutralize your heartbeat and your breath through your nose. Concentrate, you have to have that intention, and let me tell you, it's as hard as it sounds. Like, you guys should try it. But she was giving me all the benefits of breathing through your nose. She even told me that it's so beneficial that she even has her husband and her kids, every night she tapes their mouth. That's right, she tapes their mouth to force them to breathe out of their nose. Okay, so these are the little things that I heard. So now, obviously, it made me very curious, and I started looking up some of her theories and some of the things that she was teaching me, and the things that I wasn't able to understand or hear because I was doing the exercise. And apparently, it is super beneficial. It's not crazy. So I have some notes here because I want to make sure I do it right. So the benefits of nose breathing are, it is a stress reliever. And this part, it makes a lot of sense because when we're really stressed or angry or have a panic attacks or anything that you're in fight mode, or I'm not sure what the word is, the first thing we tend to do is we breathe out of our mouth, and then we lose our air, and then we're like almost choking on, our own breath. And unfortunately, what they teach us is that you should breathe. Whenever you can't breathe, they're like, breathe. And what happens is that you're actually breathing too much at that point. So what you need to actually do is slow down your breath. So the best way to do this is by breathing through the nose, because it forces you to calm down. How can you solve a problem of too much breath with actually breathing strongly? It makes no sense. So breathing slowly, slowing down your breath is what's going to help you and bring you back to that peaceful rhythm of breath and your mind. And I know that works because when I do the cold plunge, the first thing, especially at the beginning, I used to, and you breathe and it's worse. So slowing down your breath actually puts you in the right position. And you could handle anything. It actually even warms up your body, believe it or not. So it is great for stress relief, knowing how to breathe through your nose, or getting used to breathing through your nose. It enlarges your lung function, which obviously more oxygen, more healing power, and is more beneficial. It reduces the risk of infections, because it filters the air through your nasal passage, the hairs. So it actually prevents from, illnesses like getting infections, colds, and keeping you a lot healthier. It would help you will be able to handle higher levels of CO2, carbon dioxide, which, to be honest with you, I had no idea, but they need to be at a certain point. If they rise too much, it's actually dangerous for you. So it helps you when you're being very active and running or stressed or whatever it is. It will help you to handle higher levels than you should have. So that's super beneficial for athletes. That's why it's so beneficial, because by breathing through the nose, it adds moisture and warmth to inhale air. So it'll give you a smoother entry to your lungs, the oxygen. And that's what you need, especially runners, anything athletic. That's super beneficial for athletes. Another very important advantage is that it can also allow for oxygen to get into your active tissues. Those are the benefits for breathing through your nose. Actually, here we go. I'm going to tell you some of the reasons why chronic mouth breathing is not good. And then I'm going to go into something else. Tooth decay and gum disease. When you breathe through your mouth, you use more moisture and it dries out your mouth, leaving you with stinkier breath and potential of infections, and which leads to tooth decay and gum disease. If you notice, when you breathe through your nose, when you're just breathing through your nose, you'll feel that you accumulate more saliva in your mouth. It actually gives you moisture, and believe it or not, it also warms up your body temperature. It can disfigure your teeth if you're a chronic mouth breather. I mean, if you do it once in a while, sometimes we're sick, but we're talking about people that, like at night, they're sleeping with their mouth open. So, you snore more, you don't sleep as good, and, it makes it difficult, I guess, to swallow. And the one that really surprised me is it changes your facial features. It's crazy. I was looking at pictures. That's why they say, like, they're trying to tell you that when you have kids, like for young kids, you want them to learn to breathe with their nose and get them used to, and that's why, that's why it's good to tape your mouth to get you used to breathing with your nose, because by breathing with your mouth open, your jaw tends to set in, your eyes start to droop, your face gets more elongated, even making your nose longer. So it is a very true thing. Here you could see how mouth breathing can change your bone structure, make your teeth crooked, and worst of all, age you. So close your mouth. And it's actually good for anti-aging, because as you know, our bone structure never stops changing. Our teeth, the movement, everything, we're alive, so we keep moving everything. So keeping your mouth closed, which is how you should breathe, your tongue sits in the top of the roof of your mouth. It's gonna preserve more your bone structure, which is what you lose with age. And your face already starts to droop, so you want to keep it tight, you want to keep it up here. So it's beneficial, it's very anti-aging as well. It's crazy how it can change the whole look of your face. I was mentioning that to a friend of mine, and because I just found it so weird. And she thought, she told me, she's like, Maria, I'm telling you, I think that's what happened to me, because when she was pregnant, you're pregnant for like, 9 months, and she had a lot of allergies. So for some reason, she had a really hard time breathing through her pregnancy. So she knows that she was breathing through her mouth. And she told me, she goes, my expression changed. I mean, some of it I know it's from the pregnancy. You swell up a little bit, but she said it wasn't from that. You could tell her face was getting a little elongated. Her eyes were a little bit droopier. And, when she got back to normal, it kind of corrected itself. But she really thinks that it made a difference for her, and she saw the difference when she was sleeping and breathing through her mouth. So that's super interesting. I know that, a lot of times we have problems through deviated septum or allergies. The best way to do that is try to correct that as much as you can. Some of us, it's just a habit. If it is, try to get into a habit breathing through your nose. And at first, especially when I was doing that exercise, I felt like I couldn't get enough oxygen through my nose, but that's because you're training yourself. Actually, the more you do it, your nasal passages will open up, allowing more oxygen to your body. And don't worry, it's not your nostrils. Nostrils are not gonna get bigger. It's just your passages. And you'll breathe a lot better. It'll be a lot easier. It'll become just very natural, so then you won't have to wear the tape. So I wanted to see if I was a nose breather or a mouth breather. So I wanted to do a test, and this is how you guys can find out as well. You can buy tape. It's crazy because I guess it's been more of a thing than I thought, because I went to Amazon because I wanted to get it quick, and I wanted to get like surgical tape because I thought that would be an easy one that without, not duct tape. So I wanted to pull it out, and I didn't want it to irritate my skin. So I didn't even know what to search. So I think I searched mouth tape, and there's so many different mouth tapes. There's some that are actually shaped like the little lips that is made for that. So this is not like, people have been talking about it. I just didn't know. Maybe you guys have heard of it. I'm just telling you what I found out, and I found out it was interesting. So I bought a different tape because I wanted to make sure that I got it in tomorrow so that I can just get this done. So we'll see how it goes. I might even have Mark try it if he lets me, to see if we're mouth breathers or nose breathers. Also, my friend will try it, so you'll see. So this is my conversation today, about spirituality, about being healthy, about looking beautiful, being the best version of yourself. So I will talk to you tomorrow. Okay, Mark, are you ready to see if you're a mouth breather or nose breather? Can you hold the phone for me? Don't keep it there. Okay. I know this is not going to be easy, but I appreciate you trying the experiment. Okay. Good night. Nighty night. I love you. Okay, I'm gonna put mine on. Good night. Right. Good morning, everyone. God, I had a long night last night. I did have some drinks, but I still did my tape, which I don't know where it is. I think it's on the floor over here. So this is, I think I took it off because this is a little bit of a plastic material. It didn't bother me, but my lips got a little sweaty. So I think that's why I took it off. I think I am a nose breather because
I kept paying attention. I kept waking up, and I noticed my mouth was closed. Mark is definitely a nose breather as well, because every time I turned over, his lips were sealed, but he took off the tape. So I think it's because of that. I should have bought the other one that's the lip shape, because it's meant for the lips, but I didn't want to wait 3 days. I wanted to go ahead and do this. But it was worth a try. I'm gonna I'm gonna try it a couple more days after I buy the other one and see how it goes. It's definitely interesting.
Good morning, everyone. Maria suggested that I try the mouth taping experiment, and I must say it was a success. Even though I believe I'm a nose breather, I experienced some breathing issues during my pregnancy due to allergies, and I noticed that I was breathing through my mouth a lot, which resulted in me waking up with a dry mouth, and I noticed my face shape was changing as well. But ever since I had my daughter, I believe that I've been able to correct that and go back to nose breathing and trying the mouth taping. It was just a great experience. I'm definitely considering doing it again. And you guys should give it a try and tell us what you think. Good morning, everyone.